15 minutes. That's how long you have from the time you hit purchase till that refund button disappears. So the question is, can it hook us when we give it its 15 minutes of game? Hey everybody, Maction here, and the game that's on the chopping block today is Dragon Quest VIII. Ah, Square Enix, you've done it again. Released a fan favorite that is over a decade old for $20. But can you triumph over the porting issues of Final Fantasy I? Or is this doomed to be refunded? Okay, so even though Dragon Quest VIII regularly makes the top 20 of all time lists of games, this port is not without its issues. So let's start at the top. First of all, it takes forever to install. So much so that if you hit the purchase button, don't expect to get a refund because you will play out most, if not all, the 15 minutes waiting for it to download. DRM checks. I think the interval of checks, while it's not officially disclosed anywhere, is probably close to something like once every couple of days after the initial one when you install. Although I have heard rumors of people reporting that it does it every few hours, so maybe you shouldn't expect to play it on a plane ride. But, like I said, not officially disclosed. No Gamepad support. This is not a huge deal to me, but I think that it could be a deal breaker to some, so you should know that going in. Now it is forced into portrait mode, which is quite a shame considering the more comfortable landscape view that tablets can offer. However, I think this is maybe one way of getting around the whole scaling issue that Square Enix seems to have. Also, it is quite a chore to run this game. I'm using a really great tablet, and it's slowing down when I try to make just some regular moves around corners. You should really only get this if you have quite a beefy Android device. And then last strike, but I think this is the one that's going to cement it for most people in the Americas. It's a port of the Japanese version, and not the North American version, so it lacks the orchestral soundtrack and lacks the voice acting that it was so famous for in the North American release. On the plus side, it will let you move around the location of the buttons. True, it's to predefined locations, but it will let you do it. They did a really good job of simplifying the whole game to work well on a touchscreen, and the controls are about as good as one could expect with taking something that had so many buttons on the PlayStation and condensing it down to work on something with no physical buttons. And it is a full-sized JRPG that can see you through many hours of gameplay. This point cannot be brought up enough. This will give you many, many hours of gameplay. And then cloud saves. This is a great feature because, let's say for example, you lose your phone, or maybe you get a new phone, or you have to do a factory reset for whatever reason. The saves that are in the cloud will still be there for you, so you won't lose all of your progress if you have to change to a different device. Now this puts it pretty much at an equilibrium, because I think the pluses and the minuses kinda balance each other out. I can deal with the downsides, and I really like the upsides. But, for me, personally, if it were still available, I would hit the refund button on this, because it just couldn't convince me of its $20 value. But I do see it as being a great purchase for some of the more hardcore RPG fans out there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed, and if you have, a comment or a like would be most appreciated. You see, it's your feedback that lets me know how to best allocate my time to the things that you want to see. If you click on any of the videos around here, you'll be taken to a playlist with more of that particular brand of madness. And be sure to subscribe so that you can always be the first to know when I have some new content out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you around.